there are allegations where we believe that not every vote or fair vote and legal vote was counted, and that's at odds with the representation from the Secretary of State's office. What I'm hopeful for is there some way that we can find some kind of an agreement to look at this a little bit more fully. The president mentioned Fulton County, but in some of these areas where there seems to be a difference of where the facts seem to lead. And so, Mr. Secretary, I was hopeful that, in a spirit of cooperation and compromises, there's something that we can at least have a discussion to look at some of these allegations to find a path forward that's less litigious.
There's Trump's former chief of staff, Mark Meadows, part in that perfect call with Georgia's Secretary of State. It's just one reason that his name has been included 12 times in the charging list of 19 people that assisted in Trump's efforts to overturn the results of that state. You can almost tell he's trying to be legally delicate in telling Raffensperger that they need him to simply change the vote count without being a dumbass and directly saying something stupid like this.
You should want to have an accurate election, and you're a Republican.
We believe that we do have an accurate election.
No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't have, not even close. So, look, all I want to do is this. I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have, because we won the state.
And where Meadows tiptoed, Donald Trump jumped in to shout exactly what they were looking for.
Just to, maybe put a little different spin on what Mark is saying, Mark Meadows. We'd like to go further, but we don't really need to. We have all the votes we need. We won the state. But we only lost the state by that number, 11,000 votes, and 779. So with that being said, and so we don't really have to, Mark, I don't think we have to go through machines because what's the difference between winning the election by two votes and winning it by 500,000? They say it's not possible to have lost Georgia. And I could tell you by our rallies. I could tell you by the rally I'm having on Monday night, the place they already have lines of people standing out front waiting. It's just not possible to have lost Georgia. It's not possible. When I heard it was close, I said, there's no way. But they dropped a lot of votes in there late at night. You know that, Brett. And we don't need Dominion or anything else. We have won this election in Georgia based on all of this. And there's nothing wrong with saying that, Brad.
Just calm down with all the beating around the bush here, Mark. Here, listen, Brad. All we need is a few more votes than we lost by. Because my rallies are a foolproof example as to why I think I won. So forget about all the Americans that came out to vote. Because when I glanced at all the MAGA hat wearers that chant "lock her up" at my rallies in the middle of Dalton, Georgia, I don't know how I could have possibly lost. Well, unluckily for Trump, Secretary Raffensperger had an answer as to how he knew he lost.
I've listened to what the president has just said. President Trump, we've had several lawsuits, and we've had to respond in court to the lawsuits and the contentions. We don't agree that you have won. I didn't agree about the 200,000 number that you'd mentioned, and I could go through that point by point. What we had done is we gave our state senate about 1.5 hours of our time going through the election issue by issue. I don't believe that you're really questioning the Dominion machines, because we did a hand retally, a 100% retally of all the ballots, and compared that to what the machine said, and it came up with virtually the same result. Then we did the recount, and we got virtually the same result. So I guess we could probably take that off the table. I don't think there's an issue about that.
When faced with the process and confirmed answers, Donald Trump pulled a Donald Trump. He closed his eyes, plugged his ears, and just bowled through anyway.
There's nothing wrong with saying that, that you've recalculated, because...
Well, Mr. President, the challenge that you have is the data you have is wrong. We talked to the congressmen, and they were surprised, but they I guess there was a person named Mr. Raynard that came to these meetings and presented data. And he said that there was dead people, I believe it was upward of 5,000. The actual number were 2.
Man, we need some answers. We need someone that's associated with all of these mobster-style phone calls that are filled with suggestions and lies in the face of facts to explain how anyone could listen to Republican Brad Raffensperger explain exactly why he knows Trump lost and conclude that he actually won. You'd literally have to suspend all logic. You'd have to forget that they lost countless court cases that combed through the results based on their empty arguments. You'd have to believe that fellow Republicans, including Vice President Mike Pence, that wanted to win, were suddenly working for the best interests of Biden and Harris, and that every swing state was perfectly coordinated from top to bottom to fraudulently steal the votes from him in a variety of ways that only he and his campaign could possibly see. And most comically, the guy that holds the key is the one that said this.
We're so far ahead of these numbers. Even the phony ballots of known scammer. You know the internet? You know what was trending on the internet? Where's because they thought she'd be in jail. She stuffed the ballot boxes. Let's face it, Brad. I mean, they did it in slow motion replay magnified, right? She stuffed the ballot boxes. They were stuffed like nobody's ever seen them stuffed before. And I don't know why, but, why? I don't know why 3 times. Why not 5 times, right? But